thank you for sharing. And you told a very nice thing about the history, and we should learn from history. But I think we do not. And as a participant of the events, I live close to the festivities, and I feel every day the bombing and drones and attacks. And I can say that I can't see how we can speak now with Russia, because they do not understand the rules and they do not want peace with us. They want to erase us. And that's why I'm trying to understand why the world doesn't understand everything.
If we can play back and start again, what would we have done? To 2000, what would we have done? I have a great admiration for Chancellor Helmut Kohl because he achieved German unification. In 1994, I was a minister in attendance to him, so I had some quiet moments with him. I spoke through an interpreter, and he told me how he dealt with Gorbachev. They were on the phone all the time, and anything he needed, they would supply. And at that time, the West promised Russia that NATO would not expand eastwards, but NATO expanded eastwards relentlessly. And many Western strategic thinkers, including Kissinger and Kennan and many others, said Ukraine must be a buffer state. And many Europeans thought that way, but there were elements in America and maybe people in Europe who felt that Russia can never be small enough. So he kept pushing. I know how the resentment built up over Kosovo because I was sitting next to Lavrov. It was building up inside. No, Maidan, the Russians thought it was a coup by the Americans. It's more complicated than that. I was sitting next to Yanukovych before it happened. I was still a minister. I didn't know he's a poker player, and he's got a card-reading photographic memory. Then in the end, he had to run for his life. Before that, Kushma, through his foreign minister Horin, wanted a free trade agreement with Singapore. I said, what do you want a free trade agreement with Singapore? I said, we will have all the advantages. You will get nothing from us. We're already tariff-free. He said, no. We will benefit by an association with Singapore. I had long conversations with the Ukrainian ambassador in Singapore, Pavlo Sutansky. He said, my wife will cook you borscht. But he left before I could take up his invitation. When the war started, I called him up. He said he evacuated to Poland, often within earshot of machine gun fire. And since then, hundreds of thousands of people have died. So we play back. If we could start again, how would we have played it? Because if we don't conduct this exercise, we will never be able to achieve peace. Because there's so much hatred, so much anger, so much pain, so much sorrow. How do you overcome this? The Ukrainian ambassador kept on telling me that Russia will collapse internally. I said, you cannot be sure about that. And you've got to work with a Russia that will be around. And without Western power supporting you, you're at risk. And Western power is contingent upon their own domestic politics. And now we have Trump, who decided that he will no longer be leading but be a mediator. So this is a new reality. If I'm Ukrainian, I'll be very angry. But what can I do?